Her tiny frame stood frozen in the narrow airplane aisle, eyes wide, lips pressed tightly together, as the man in the tailored grey suit leaned back in the seat that clearly wasn't her seat. His polished shoes stretched out arrogantly, blocking her way, and for a moment, the hum of passengers settling in faded beneath the cold tension that hung between them. He didn't even glance at her at first, just flicked through his phone like she was invisible. But when he finally looked up, his smirk carried the kind of dismissive air that could slice through dignity like paper. The other passengers stared, waiting for her to move or for him to make room. Neither happened. Instead, he crossed his legs and said, "You'll have to find another spot, sweetheart. This one's taken." Before we continue, if you're watching us for the first time, ELLIOT Stories welcomes you with a warm hug. We bring you real, powerful, and unforgettable stories that will keep you glued to the very last word. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Drop a comment and tell us the city you're watching from, and of course, share this story with friends, because what's about to happen next will leave you speechless. Now, let's get back to the flight. She wasn't just any little girl. The pearl headband resting on her curls wasn't the only sign of quiet grace. Her posture, her stillness, and the steady way she looked at him carried a weight well beyond her years. "Sir," she said softly but firmly, "that's my seat." His chuckle was low and condescending. "Don't worry, they'll find you another. First come, first served." It wasn't first come, first served. The ticket in her small hand had a seat number that matched the one beneath him. But before she could speak again, the flight attendant approached. A young woman with an apologetic smile, she glanced between the two, her eyes betraying the dilemma. "Sir, she's assigned to this seat." He leaned back even further. "And I'm already here. Surely you can make an exception." The attendant's eyes darted to the girl, then back to the man. "We can move her." "No," the girl interrupted, voice unwavering. "My father bought this seat for me. I'm not moving." Whispers started among passengers nearby. Some were annoyed at the delay, others watched with a kind of moral curiosity, wondering how this would unfold. The man shifted, finally showing irritation. "Listen, kid. I've been flying this route for 20 years. I don't get told to move." She tilted her head, studying him. "Then maybe today is your first lesson." The audacity in her tone drew quiet gasps. The attendant's cheeks flushed, but she hesitated, then leaned down to whisper something to the girl. The girl shook her head. "My father's boarding. He'll be here in a minute." Her father wasn't just boarding, he was the CEO of one of the most powerful global tech firms, a man whose influence could snap corporate doors open or shut with a single call. But he wasn't the kind to flaunt it. He believed respect should be earned, not demanded. His daughter, however, had inherited his steel spine. When he arrived, it wasn't with loud words or threats. He stepped into the row, placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder, and simply said, "Is there a problem?" The man in the suit glanced up, perhaps expecting a flustered parent. Instead, he met the cool gaze of someone used to commanding boardrooms. "Yes," he said, "your daughter can find another seat. This one's mine now." The father's smile didn't reach his eyes. "No. This one was paid for, booked, and reserved, by me. For her. And she will sit here." The exchange drew more attention. A few passengers pulled out phones, recording discreetly. The flight attendant tried again, offering to move them to an upgraded section. The father shook his head. "We're not moving." "He is." When the man refused, the father took out his phone, not to call security, but someone higher. The call lasted less than 30 seconds. His words were calm. "Yes. Delta 408. Gate still closed. I need the flight delayed." Within moments, the captain's voice came over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a minor delay. Please remain seated." The businessman in the stolen seat shifted uncomfortably. "You can't just—" "I can," the father interrupted. "And I have." A uniformed supervisor boarded minutes later, accompanied by 2 airport security officers. "Sir," she said to the man, "you'll need to gather your belongings." He sputtered, looking around for support that didn't come. "This is ridiculous. She's a child." The supervisor's voice stayed professional but firm. "You are in the wrong seat, refusing to comply with crew instructions, and delaying the flight. Please come with us." The walk of shame down the aisle felt endless for him. As he passed, murmurs followed, some passengers avoiding eye contact, others glaring openly. The girl finally slid into her rightful seat, smoothing her purple floral dress, her father settling beside her. But the story didn't end there. The man's removal triggered a security protocol. The flight, grounded for an additional half-hour, had to have luggage rechecked. People grumbled about the delay, but the girl sat quietly, sipping the apple juice her father had ordered. One older woman across the aisle leaned over. "Good for you, sweetheart. Don't ever let anyone take what's yours." The girl smiled faintly. "That's what my dad always says." When they finally took off, the tension eased, but the moment lingered like a small, sharp victory, one that carried more weight than a simple seat dispute. It wasn't about power or status. It was about principle. The passengers who'd witnessed it would remember the calm defiance of a child who refused to be pushed aside simply because someone thought they could get away with it. By the time the plane landed, the incident had already gone viral. Those discreet phone recordings had made their way online mid-flight, and social media was ablaze with the clip of a girl standing firm against a grown man twice her size and age. Headlines spun fast: "Young girl stand her ground in seat dispute. CEO's daughter teaches passenger a lesson in respect." Reporters were waiting at the terminal, but the father shielded her from questions. "She's a child," he said simply. "This isn't her story. It's a reminder that everyone deserves respect, regardless of their size, age, or the color of their skin." Later, in the quiet of their hotel room, the father sat across from his daughter. "You know, standing up for yourself is important. But standing up with grace, that's what makes people listen." She nodded. "I didn't yell. I just didn't move." "And that," he said, "is sometimes louder than shouting." Moral lesson: true strength doesn't always roar, it stands firm, calm, and unwavering, even in the face of arrogance. Respect isn't earned by force or fear, but by holding your ground with dignity. And from ELLIOT Stories, remember, no matter how small you think your voice is, it matters. The moment you decide you are worth standing up for, the world begins to see you differently. So, hold your head high, claim your place, and never let anyone convince you that you're less than you are. The seat, the opportunity, the respect, you deserve it. Always.